Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Live Wine and Conversations with myself, Lighton.
And Miss Lelobi. And today we have an amazing, my baby boy. we have at Lebza for sure.
Yup.
Like he's famous for traveling,
Amen.
for buying books,
Mm-hmm.
for
And
being
sneakers.
and superbalist. So Lebza, welcome man to Life Wine and Conversation with your juice.
Thank you so much.
So we invited you. We thought we wanted to talk about books this time, and we just agreed.
Exactly.
We just knew who the
Who
person,
the person
is
was.
to invite. We were just Lebza. He's the one who's always posting about books.
Yeah.
So my first question is, how did your love for books start?
It actually started when I was still in primary school because my grandmother was a teacher.
Oh,
So she would bring me books and I would read, and it also went back to even in high school. So we had this project called Read. So they'd bring us like different books and then you'd read, and I was always that kid who wants to go in front to read to the whole
are
class.
you serious?
So I've always been that person, and I was
Yeah.
also interested in reading in Sepedi because I did Sepedi in
Lovely.
in high school, actually from primary up to high school. So I want to be the one that goes to the front to read to the whole class because like I enjoyed
Oh,
attention
wow.
as well, and plus I also enjoyed reading, and then I just stopped university because I mean
You
like
were studying and you had to read other things.
never mind that I was just going to events to see all these celebrities, so it was nice and stuff, and I forgot like my love for reading until I started my first job, Black Magazine, and one of my boss said, your writing is quite horrible, and you write like you don't read. Yo,
Right.
my ego,
Oh.
my heart.
Oh.
I mean, like that was quite painful, but it actually helped me to go back to reading because after that I started reading, and it was like your writing is actually improving. You should actually read
Yeah.
more. And then I started reading more, and from there, and that was in 2012.
Okay.
And after 2012, again, I just continued.
Wow, you just started reading
Yeah, yeah,
throughout
just
and
continued.
stopping.
Yeah.
So how much do you think you've spent on books since 2012?
It's a good question.
Wait, but because in 2012, since I was writing for Black Magazine, so I used to get like free books.
Oh.
Okay.
But then most like books that they want you to review, not the books that you want to read.
To read.
So I was
yes.
also exposed to a lot of non-fiction, which now is actually my least favorite genre.
Non-fiction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I prefer reading fiction because I also feel like with non-fiction, you have a chance to omit the truth. So if it's fiction, then you know you're creating this character, and you can be as honest as you can be as honest as possible without thinking that you're putting yourself out there too much, because then you can always say nah, but it's a character that I created. So, but I think I probably spent, I don't know, probably 10 holidays in order to actually come.
Oh yeah, because that's
10 holidays.
That's how Lebza counts his money in holidays.
Exactly.
Okay, this is a topic for
quantified.
another day.
Yeah.
So, tell us about this lovely book that we're going to talk to you about. Can you please pass it to me?
Lovely. Okay.
Lovely, lovely book. I haven't finished reading it, but it's called Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. I hope I said that correctly. So all our
Ayobami
Nigerians-
Adebayo.
to all our Nigerian
Yeah,
viewers.
you said it correctly.
Lovely, lovely, lovely book. So, take us through it. Why this particular book? Actually, before I ask you that question, I know you love books, and I think like we share that in common. And how is your love? Like, what inspired your love for African literature?
I don't necessarily read like African literature only. Maybe I can also go back to one of the reasons why I actually started the book club, which is called the Petty
Did
Book
you
Club.
start the book club?
Yeah, in
Wow. So you
2016.
started something, you know, just the WhatsApp and
But yeah, that was in Jan 2016. It's so funny because we had like 10 people or more than
and
10.
now this?
There was like 5 of us. which is fine.
Like planning a group trip.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it's also fine because like the more intimate, the better, because we also became like a very tight friends, and I mean it's amazing in that sense. So one of the reasons why I actually started the book club was that I want to be able to read books that I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to actually
I like
go,
that. Yes.
I like
go
that.
and buy. So if we're part of a book club, then you'll be exposed to like different books, different authors, and different genres. But
African literature and the other.
exactly, because we all different, we all love
Yeah.
different
Different
tastes and whatnot. So that was my thing for starting the book club. So it also exposed me to a whole lot of other authors I didn't even know existed before the book club. So yeah, so I don't necessarily like African literature only.
So how did you get to how does your book club decide on a book? So how did you get to this one?
Yeah.
Stay with me.
So this was chosen by Zet, who's also famous for choosing horrible books.
Are you serious?
I know she's probably gonna kill me after this, but
this was not horrible. Okay.
yeah, not horrible, but yeah. So everyone's given a chance to suggest a book,
Yes.
but the first email that I sent was that no non-fiction, no, we're not even gonna touch like business books, politics and whatnot. We are not going to read self-help books.
Yeah.
If you want to read How to Find Love in 10 days, then you can read that in your own
In your own time, yes.
spare time, because I don't want to judge people
But that makes so much
for
sense.
the books that they choose to
Yeah,
read and
exactly.
whatnot. But like for this particular book club, it would be nice to like discuss, to read books that will be able to like have like interesting conversation
Beyond, yeah.
what you'd also want to read
Yes.
or enjoy reading on your
Okay.
own. Yeah.
All right. That's amazing. Okay, so you have to finally tell us about Stay With Me.
Exactly.
Tell us about this book.
So Stay With Me. I mean, I'd like to describe it as a love story. I'd love to, because I suppose like everyone describes a book in different ways. Like we all interpret art in different ways, which makes it even more interesting. Because I know you probably have like a different interpretation to what I have. But for me, Stay With Me, it's more of like a love story. It's more of like a woman Yejide navigating through a patriarchal society where the woman is always the one to be blamed. It's also about like how love can cost you a lot. You think you're doing something for the sake of love, but you don't actually see that you're actually like destroying a person. It's also about how our mother's love can also destroy us. They think it's actually love, but it's actually it's more of like it's more of like a poison that's like eating you out in
It's
so many
making me
ways.
teary.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm getting
Actually,
all-
I love. That's what I loved about that, because I have like my own perceptions about the book, but hearing you say what you describe what you think the book is about has been
But what did you
it's so
think?
great.
What was your description?
For me, I love African literature. I literally have a rule, like the first half of the year I read predominantly African literature. And what I loved about the book specifically was how for me, it sort of like hits home, because you kind of know somebody, or you've heard about somebody who's been in Yejide's shoes. And for me, that was like, it's very relatable. Well, there are other things, but then it's quite relatable. So it felt like a story that's not only African, but then like something that's like from my own family, from my own backyard. And not only that, but then it's also showing us how we are how society, for lack of a better word, is screwed with, expectation, rules, and patriarchy and everything. And with that, I think I'll stop here, because I might give away too much.
So I think just to put it all in context, so literally the book is about this couple. Akin is the husband, and what's the lady's name? Yejide. So they've been married for about 5 years, and they don't have any children.
Yes.
And now the mother is now wanting the son to have. Yejide's mother wants Yejide to have children and to have a son as well. That will.
Akin's
Oh, yeah,
Akin's
Akin's
mother,
mother.
yeah.
Akin's mother. Hakeem's mother. So that's just to give someone an idea of what it's about, and really the book is about the journey of how they deal with that pressure and so on. But what stood out for you about this book?
I suppose for me, what stood out it was how Yejide was mourning for her kid. Like when she got pregnant for the first time, it was like a whole hulala. It was a big thing because like she's been wanting to get pregnant, and also because of
Spoiler alert.
oh.
It's very difficult to talk about
it without giving much.
right?
It is.
But yeah,
They
okay.
must just be strong.
Read the book and then
Yeah. So it was a matter of like now I have this pressure lifted off my shoulders. Like no one's going to ask me when are you going to have a child? Like when are you going to get pregnant? But like when she lost the first child, like my heart was actually so. I'm just like you've been waiting for this moment.
And then now
for,
all of this happens. Yeah.
And then there's like now the second one, and then now it's like you know what I mean. It actually reminds me of a quote that I actually like.
From the book?
No, not from the book.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's from actually one of my favorite writers, Haruki Murakami. I think you've probably seen me.
Yeah.
No, please say that name slowly.
Haruki Murakami.
Is this person Asian?
Google that.
Yeah, he's a Japanese writer.
Okay.
Actually, one of my favorite
Yeah, I've seen you post that name.
writers. Yeah. So this quote is from one of my favorite books by him. It's called Norwegian Hood. And it says, no truth, no sincerity, no strength, no kindness can cure that sorrow. All you can do is see that sadness through to the end and learn something from it.
Wow.
But what we learn will be no help in facing the next sadness that comes to us without any warning.
So what we learn will be of no help.
Yeah, into helping us face us the
So
next.
we literally have to go through that again.
Exactly, and nothing going to prepare you for the loss of your loved one. So that's why towards the end, I don't want to give away too much. That's why towards the end, that's why she behaved the way that she behaved, because she was like, I can't give this love too much because I know I'm going to get hurt at the end. So the best way was to like resist the love and not give anything of it, so that nothing's going to be taken away from him.
So in the book, there's a lot of the book, the majority of I don't know how to say this, is about her telling the story, right, from her perspective. And then there's bits and pieces where the husband is telling his story. There were lots of places where I was so mad at this girl, this lady. But what did you think of the husband, the character? And would you say he was an honorable man? One thing is I knew he loved her. He loved her. But what did you think of him?
I actually thought he was such a dishonest man. He was not honest with his wife. He was not honest with the mother, and he was also not honest with himself. And I mean, as much as he loved his wife with all of his heart, well, I hope so. But like, if there's no trust and like being like honesty in a relationship, do you understand that there's so many things that you're going to question that happened before you find out about a particular thing, and it's just like, was this also like a lie? Like, was this also like, was it like what else is he hiding from me? Type of thing. But otherwise, I mean, there was nothing that stood out for me, like per se, like characteristics. Where it was just like.
Really?
Yes.
Say something like that. So there was a review that I read, and the review said that there was nothing beautiful about the descriptions that the writer, the author, used in the book. It was more about the plot and all the twists and turns. What did you think of the writing in general?
The writing was quite plain and basic. It was very simple. Well, too simple.
Is that bad? Okay.
Debatable.
It would have been debatable.
It would have been good if before you wrote for Black magazine.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, explain.
But I don't know. Like it felt like it was too simple. Like I didn't find parts where I'm just like, I would love to read. I want to read this out loud for someone who is so beautifully written. Like it's so
Yeah.
like it moves me. Like
Yeah.
something's
Yeah.
happening
Yeah,
in my spirit. Like my soul is like getting
Yeah.
snatched.
Yeah.
And all.
Falls getting
Yeah.
snatched.
So it was.
That's
So
nice.
yeah. So it was quite. Cause I mean, I've like if you read a lot, like you read how
Fall in
people-
love with the words.
for
as
example,
well.
like
Yes.
how Yajasi was describing the character, I can't remember her name, like how she was like, and I'm not trying to even compare the two, but I'm just talking about the writing, I'm not comparing.
You're talking about homegoing now.
Homegoing,
Homegoing,
yeah, because I also don't want to feel like I'm putting the two women
Yeah.
against each other, because they all have different, but like going back to the writing, like it was not, like I was not moved like by the writing per se. It felt like it was just it was simple. Yeah, it was very simple. I don't know what did you think?
No, like it was simple. There's like, no, but I also think it might have been a strategy to make it simple, so that it's. I think being like a common topic and yada yada yada, that like might have been like her strategy to make it like, I suppose like accessible to everybody else. But my thing with the writing, I don't know if you picked this up, what I liked, the things that I didn't like, but then what I liked about it is that it just, okay, I'm going to put like a disclaimer to that. I'm one of those people, if I am not enthralled in the first 5 pages, I am not reading the book. What I like about this book is just, it like goes straight into the drama,
Yeah.
and I loved that. But then I realized that it goes straight into a drama, then goes out in the drama. It's sort of like they're trying to keep you to read the entire book. And so they're like, and I think that's where the review comes from.
Yes.
Where it's like, it's about the plot. Because I also felt like that. I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's just like, it's great, drama, and then it's like down. Then it's like drama, then it's, yeah. I don't know, what did you think about that?
Yeah, I also did pick up, but it also helped me to be in tune. Like I didn't want to put it down because it was also
it was a fast read.
yeah, it was a fast that's actually true, because I remember you tweeted on a Sunday or on a Saturday actually, and then by the following day I think you were like done reading it. That's how fast it was, because like it didn't require like a lot of work from you.
Exactly.
So yeah.
No thinking whatsoever.
Yeah, it was
also
just-
because it's simple.
So Lebza, there's nothing in here that was like, that caught your attention, that you're like, I want to read this. This is what I like. There's nothing.
No, maybe this thing. There's a page that I wrote that I thought you'd probably would have loved.
Yes.
Let's open
I
page.
think I know what it is. Page?
262. It's about love.
Too predictable.
I know, right? Like I need to change my life. 262.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
So where is it? Okay, but I think I did believe that love had immense power to unearth all that was good in us, refine us, and reveal to us the better versions of ourselves.
That is so true, though.
I thought you actually like you probably loved that part specifically.
You know, there's another part in this book. I just don't know what page it is that talks about.
Why didn't you write page numbers?
Oh, man, I tweeted it.
Yeah.
It says something about what would love be without us always putting forward the best versions of ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Remember something,
yes,
there was
yes,
something
yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
That was what caught my attention. But it also sounds very similar to this as well.
Mm.
So Lebza, if you were asked to write a paragraph at the back of this book, what would you say? I know you haven't thought about that one, but what would it say? You're like
I would say, because I mean, like it's such an important story, because there's like interesting discussion points, like what I was saying about like how.
That's a long passage, yo.
No,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna get to
Oh,
that.
you're getting there?
Yeah. So like it has like interesting discussion. Look at, I'm saying interesting discussion points, and I'm busy like teaching.
Exactly.
You're creating a thread.
I know.
there.
I'm just like, why am I feeling like this? But I suppose I could say it's an important read that every man and woman should read and think about how women are being affected by us men who perpetuate like, how do I put it? Like, who enable this patriarchal system to oppress, to continue oppressing women. Yeah.
Okay, like when you submit it, you can edit and do that.
Exactly.
It sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Or probably because I don't think, but I think that's what I'd say because I felt like there's like interesting things to actually discuss. But also what I wanted to find out from you as well. I know I'm not like supposed to be interviewing you,
No, it's okay.
but like how it was so obvious that we as human beings like we would do so many hectic things when we are desperate for like miracles. Like when you're reading like what Yejide was going through with like the mother-in-law. I mean like those were it's the same as people who like eat.
Going to the mountain.
You're giving away.
Yeah. I don't see what happens.
So it's the same way as like going and eating grass and snake petrol because like you're so desperate for like a miracle at that moment. Like you don't care how like absurd this thing sounds like.
I was so disappointed though. I mean, those parts where she was believing one thing and telling the husband this is this, and the husband was laughing like, no, it can't be. Look, those parts where it felt like she was, I was very disappointed. I was just like, no, man.
Because she was also, there's a thing, I just can't remember the term, but there's like a medical term
for it.
Yeah, that was like.
Oh, they mentioned it.
Yeah, so and I googled, it was my first time saying that, and it's basically it's you believing that you actually pregnant, but you're not. So it's like a whole condition.
Yeah, and it does start manifesting even if it's not true.
So you were not happy with I thought the ending was a happy ending. But you were not happy with the ending.
Yes.
I thought I was happy with the ending. I was like,
well, I haven't gotten to the ending, so I do not know.
Don't give it away. But just so you haven't.
No, I haven't finished the book.
You have to finish the book.
Yes.
Okay. You were not happy with the ending. Why not?
Okay, so firstly, I'm not a fan of like happy ending.
Boring.
I'm really not a fan of like happy endings, and also with that kind of story, the ending didn't feel believable.
Yeah. I can believe what you're saying.
Yeah, it didn't feel believable.
I hear you.
If the same thing happened, and I know we probably like different people and whatnot, and
the reactions would be different in life.
But there is no way you're not going to feel some type of way. Like there's no way you're not going to
some resentment.
You know what I mean?
All of that. Okay.
I mean, this person does this, and then you're just like, okay, like it's
and then
fine.
It's all happy because the book has to end.
You know what I mean? Like there is no way. I felt like could have ended different, even if there was like a happy ending, but something had to happen before
it gets there.
Because sometimes that's how life is. I felt like it didn't portray.
Do you think maybe she had to finish quickly? How many pages are there?
398.
Yeah, 298.
298.
Is it 298?
298.
Yeah.
But also, it's her first book, Lebza, so don't be hard on her.
Exactly.
She's gonna learn.
But I mean, like overall, it wasn't like a horrible book. I won't lie, like it wasn't a horrible book. It was.
You don't waste your time reading it.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I wasted my time.
Yeah. And if you had to rate it out of 5 being the best and 1 being the worst, where would it sit?
I actually rated it on Goodreads, and I gave it a 3.
A 3.
Yeah. Is that fair?
I think I would give it. Yeah, maybe 3.5.
3.5.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe 3.5. I gave. What did you give Homegoing?
Homegoing was. I actually wanted 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think.
That's
yeah,
how
I think I also gave it like full marks.
Yeah.
I was just so happy. And after that book, we wanted to go to Ghana, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, which I still want to do, but like
Cape Gold Coast.
Yeah, Cape Gold Coast. I went there for my high school trip for slavery stuff. It was great. Definitely need to
But what's up with all these Nigerian writers? Where do they find them? They're so amazing.
They're actually amazing. There's like a whole lot of like Nigerian writers who, like their writing is like it's so brilliant. And I can't remember there was a person who actually wrote a blog, and she was saying that she's tired of reading Nigerian books where it's like, okay, you're in Nigeria and
then you go to America.
Yes.
I also didn't like that.
Yes,
like, why are they all going out of?
to
maybe they're just writing about reality.
It's sometimes it literally feels like a Nollywood movie. Those kind of plot lines, because it's like
someone actually on Goodreads, someone said like the last part of the book felt like a Nollywood because of all the drama and also
I actually had to go back after the end. I had to go back and read the first chapter and how it starts and all of it, just to connect, because I forget.
Yeah.
But Lebza, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say about the book that we haven't talked about?
Yes, actually wanted to mention the part about the war. I'm not sure how it was actually fitting into the whole story.
Yeah, how relevant was that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I didn't see it connecting into the bigger plot. I don't know how you guys felt. Yeah, with the.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't know why that was important. Besides, I actually also don't know.
Yeah, because it was just it felt like it like she's trying to, because I know like there's like a lot of Nigerian writers when they write their books,
We'll bring in a bit of history.
The Biafra, what is it?
Biafra.
The Biafra, yeah, and there's the other one,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so I'm not sure if the war part was actually necessary for the book. I don't know.
What was its role?
Yeah, I don't know her thinking towards that path that she took.
I think she just loves drama.
Yeah. And also I think it's like there's like a lot of inspiration, especially with like young Nigerian writers from like the greats like Chinua Achebe, and I feel because he had like that. Almost like every book of his kind of has a war somewhere, and but for him it was necessary. It had context, but I don't know. It's just like for me, it's no, it's not really bad, but it started to feel like like a Nigerian element. Yeah.
Okay.
To be.
Well, we shall not talk about elements, Nigerian or not. I just want to say, Ayobami Adebayo, we loved. Well,
Loved it.
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I think that's good. This one, Stingy One, gave it a 3.
And I will finish it and
Yes,
give my
you
own
need to tell us.
ratings. Yeah, definitely.
Go to Goodreads and give it a. I actually like reading those reviews. There.
Movies, yeah.
After though, because then otherwise,
Yes,
Otherwise,
if you read before, it
after.
influences you.
Exactly.
You're reading
Your
and
knowledge,
attitudes
yeah.
towards the book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lebza, thank you so much for joining us. I think
Thank
it was
you.
an amazing conversation. I think next time he must come
Yes.
and he must talk about 10 books every
Person
young
needs to
South
read.
African needs to read or something
Exactly.
like that.
We actually should do that. I think that's a great idea.
I already have a list.
Yeah.
online.
It's a great idea.
All right, so you're gonna go prepare your list and then we'll invite you when you're ready.
Definitely.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Lebza.
much
Thank
for
you so
having me.
much for coming. This has been
Thank you
great.
so much, guys, for joining us. If you would like to get the book, I think you should definitely read it. I think sometimes it helps, even if you don't like the book, but
Exactly,
just read
yeah.
it and then it's kind of exposed
And
you
decide,
to
because we
different
all
things.
have, because we probably won't feel the same way that I felt.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it always reading always expands your mind anyway. So you might
And
as
this is
well.
not promo anything. We just really like the book.
Yeah,
All right, thank you so much, guys,
Thank
for
you
joining
for
us.
joining, and please follow Lebza for sure on his social media. And we cannot wait for the next episode. Make sure you subscribe and check you out later. Cheers.
Like, leave a comment.
With my juice.
Cheers.
Cheers.